Hi, I'm Zachary Fowler with Fowler's Makery and Mischief and winner of Alone Season 3. And you're watching Jami and I react to Alone Season 4, Episode 4. So, here we go. You ready to watch it, hun?
Yep. You shall not live in my house.
This episode has been brought to you by Fowler's Makery and Mischief.com, t-shirts, slingshots, shovels, and the new survival bracelets from WAZOO and Fowler Orange, linked below and at the end. So, Mr. Whipple there is finding that bad choices in gear makes for a miserable time. You know, not only does he have to hike, but he's got to hike in a wet t-shirt. I'm only guessing the reason that it stayed wet is because it's cotton. I had the bamboo shirt and the synthetic long johns from North Face, and they dried out from, no matter how rainy it was like they dried out in minutes, even on my person. Yeah, I can second that. Moss works really good for toilet paper.
Doesn't that leave little bits of moss behind though?
There's definitely a technique to using moss. You know, it's first you go the aggressive, and then you go some little last dusting wipes with a finishing bit of moss to make sure that you're good to go. This episode's all about the weight. The two of them weigh over 500 pounds together. Nice.
I was like, oh, hey Dad, I'm finally here. By the way, the axe is gone. Sorry. There's no way I would ever find it.
An axe is one of the things you can live without if some of their other gear kind of overlaps that, like a Japanese saw. Like if you take a Jap saw, I don't think you necessarily even need to bring an axe with you. If raw limpets or cooked limpets, do you get more out of it for your body? Like, is cooked food with your body break it down better?
I think so.
And you can digest more of it and get more energy?
I think you do. Especially with like fibrous greens. It breaks down a lot of the fiber structure so your body can digest it better. Like kale. Kale is one of those things you can't cook too much.
So, making limpet soup as opposed to eating it raw might actually get you more energy nourishment. That's great. That's how you approach a mountain lion. Let's go, baby! Come on!
Still lots of time to get eaten.
That's one way to look at it.
Right? What do you think? Is the water bottle worth more as a water bottle so you have more boiled water to drink more often without the effort? Or is it worth more as a fish trap?
Fish trap. It rains so much there you can collect rainwater.
Yep, I agree. Fish trapping the water bottle so that you can catch bigger fish with the bait ones, and if you're hungry you could eat half of them and fish with half of them.
Fry them up. Oh wait, what are you gonna fry them in?
Pan serum, smoke them, whatever. Eat them whole.
Give it to us raw and wriggling.
I just so want him to come like sneaking up from behind and surprise her. You know, like.
Oh, don't forget my camera! Oh, it gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, me too.
It's a nice sweater.
I was just thinking that sweater's huge. Did he like lose that much weight on his hike? I mean, it did say that he started at 230 something.
I don't know, but if it's wool, he can felt it and it will actually get warmer and fit better as he loses weight. It's definitely wool.
Oh, he's got the eyes on the back of his hat.
Lucas set a trend, huh?
Yeah. And
oh, look at that rain. You know that rain's like 40 degrees. It's such cold rain. It
Really?
just soaks you to the bone, and it's so hard to get warm.
And Jamie would know because
I grew up in Seattle.
grew up in Seattle, so, you know, and this is further up, so it's got to be even more miserable, right?
Yeah, but it's all still coastal, estuary type climate.
Oh, he's got a walking stick.
That's smart. He must have heard us talking about it.
He's my son, and I love him a lot.
Makes me think of you and your dad.
Everybody's getting choked up. I'm okay though.
What? It's over already.
A lot more happened this time than last week. It seemed like,
Yep.
didn't it?
2 teams got together.
That was good to see.
So how many teams are still left to find each other?
So just the one. It's just Bill and Ted, or
Jim and Ted.
Jim. It's just Jim and Ted's Excellent Adventure that is waiting to meet up. All right. Well, I'm gonna do my thing, teleport on up out of here, and we'll go to another location and talk about what I thought of this whole thing. Holy cow! Holy cow! Holy cow! Whew, that was a close one. I almost missed my mark there. All right, wow, what a great episode. This totally redeems the fact that the last one was boring. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't boring, but it just didn't feel, to me at least, like there was quite as much going on. But this one was great. Oh man, seeing Brooke and her husband come together, that was because of my time out there on Alone. That I really felt it. I felt for them, you know, that feeling of reunited, and it feels so good. I told Jami when we were on the couch, I just want to see him sneak up on her and be like, surprise, I'm here. But that was still pretty good. The two of them shouting, hearing each other, that moment, having that on camera was so amazing. Then she brings him down and shows him his home that she's built for him. That was cool. She did such an amazing job. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what's in store for those two now that they're together. And that net she found, what a treasure. I mean, she's hacking it all apart because it's just such a tangled mess of line and stuff. But if she could straighten those pieces out and work those pieces into a new net, I mean, it doesn't even have to be pretty. Who cares if it's made of holes tied together with a ton of holes? It's still more than what they had before out there fishing for them. Or they could put the nets, tie the nets around stick traps and use those for crabs and things like that. They really got a good thing going on. It's gonna be awesome to see what they do with it. And we see Peter and Sam meet up. That was emotional too. Dad was so proud of his son for making it over that long of a period of time and still making it to him. It was the day counter was saying 9 or 10 days there when they finally made it there. That was pretty wild. Oh, I find it hard to think up here. A little lightheaded. I'm so far up. I don't know what to say about today's show. I mean, there was so much going on. It was so much happened, and they accomplished so much just coming together. I'm really loving Jim, man. That guy's a character. Gets right out there when he sees the eyes in the dark, and he's like, just jumps into the bushes with his camera and just scares the thing off. And I love that technique. That was my technique right from the get-go when I bought my land here in Appleton 10 years ago, and I was outdoors in the night and I heard some noises. I decided I'm never gonna be afraid of anything. I flipped on my headlamp and I charged after it, and it turned out to just be a porcupine. And from that point on, whenever I saw something in the dark, I would just charge after it, and it always turned out to be like a raccoon or a porcupine. And one time, it was during the daytime, I saw something rustling in the bushes, and I thought it was a bear. And so I flipped open my knife and I charged after it, and I was in a weird mindset that day. and divorce and all that. And so I was like, I'm gonna kill the bear or I'm gonna die trying. I have my Jeremiah Johnson moment, and it turned out to be a moose, which was just as dumb of a decision to go chasing after it. It ran away though, and I lived to play in the woods another day. But that is, I think, the best way to approach most of these animals, you know? Not necessarily to continue to push them. You don't want to corner an animal, but you run into a bear, you hear them saying, hey bear, but more importantly, it is to be the bold aggressor in the situation. When you run into a predator that isn't maybe like a raccoon that's rabid, but you run into something that's a thinking, reasoning animal, and if you are bold in your approach and you're pushing towards it, for the most part, I think they're gonna run away. There's a very few times, I'm just rambling, there's sometimes that it might not. You could be running into one, you know, that's in rut and it's ticked off and you just came across it in its territory. You could be running into one that just doesn't want to back down. But you guys ever see that, what was he, Grizzly Man or something like that? He lived up in Grizzly Alley, and I'll link it here. And the guy was nuts, and in the end he had got eaten, but he managed to survive for quite a few years, maybe 5 or 7 years out there with grizzlies, and grizzlies that wanted to eat him, and he kept pushing them away, be like, and it worked for a long period of time until it didn't. So take my advice, don't take my advice. Maybe practice on cats and dogs first. Being afraid and running away actually makes you look like more of a tasty dinner as far as I'm concerned. I said that to Jami, and she's like, that's not just your technique with animals out in the woods, that's your technique with everything. You just bull forward until you run it to ground and you wrestle it down and it's all yours. You know, I was like, I guess, you know. So that was pretty cool that he almost got a bird. I so wanted to see him get that. We don't have ads because we're watching it on Amazon, but we do have the, it stops for a second, then repeats the scene, and then it finishes. So it's like, oh, did he get the bird? Did he get the bird? We gotta wait for like 15 seconds and then find out that he didn't get it. And, but he's doing the best he can. It's been 3 days and he's having a lot of weakness. So he goes and he picks a bunch of greens. You got to keep those calories up, whatever they have, whatever you possibly get into. And if anything, they have some vitamins. And he's eating buds of plants. Sometimes those can be dangerous. Eating too many buds, flower buds, and things like that. It can be, depending on the plant, can end up being a laxative, and that's not what you need to lose waters and minerals. Didn't look like he was going to the extreme that would be an issue at all. When the hikers showed up, I didn't see some big feast laid out for them, so it's going to be interesting to see if now that they're teamed up, they can double team it and start providing the food, which is going to mean that they can stay there for a long time. You know, it's going to be the difference between tapping out and you're in danger of being pulled because of being medically unfit. So yeah, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Fowler out. I got to figure out how to get myself down from here. It's wicked bright out here, man. Check this out. Now I gotta climb back down. Yikes!